Hi everyone, welcome to yet another video discussing the future of intelligence with artificial intelligence. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to use successful prompts using Chat GPT. When interacting with Chat GPT, we should remember we're interacting with a machine, and it's important to provide good prompts so we can get accurate, relevant responses. So in this video, I started by asking the question to Chat GPT, how to write good prompts on Chat GPT. And here is the response Chat GPT gave me. Writing good prompts on Chat GPT can help generate high quality and relevant responses from the model. Here are some tips on how to write good prompts. Be specific. Use clear language. Ask open-ended questions. Include context. Stay on topic. Consider the desired outcome. Be respectful. I then took each of these themes and went back to ChatGPT and asked, what does it mean to be specific when you write a ChatGPT prompt? And I further, to be more specific, give an example I asked of a specific prompt. Here's what ChatGPT said. Being specific when writing a ChatGPT prompt means providing as much detail as possible about the specific topic or question you're asking. This helps the model to better understand what you're looking for and generate more accurate and relevant responses. It actually gave me examples of a specific prompt. First, it started by giving me what a non-specific prompt is. A non-specific prompt would be, tell me about the stock market. And a specific prompt would be, can you provide an overview of the stock market in the United States in the last decade, including any major trends or events that have affected it? Additionally, can you discuss how COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the stock market and what experts are predicting for the future of the market? So let's look at it here. What is the specificity here? Overview of the stock market. I can see here overview of the stock market in the United States. That is already one specific region. There's a region specificity here I can see. And then major trends. There's a specificity here, or events. There's a specificity of the events and how they have affected the stock market. And then there is a specificity of a timing. The COVID time, pandemic time, has another specificity here. And then there is a question on the what. What are we looking for? What are experts predicting for the future of that market? That's another specificity here, which gives a rich, detailed prompt. Now, in the specific prompt, ChatGPT says it's narrowed down to specific time period, geographic location, and the prompt includes specific questions about the topic. It further says this provides ChatGPT with more information and helps it generate more informative response. Now, I went back to the 7 ideas or 7 steps of writing a good prompt and asked. Here it said, use clear language. I further asked, what is a clear language? What does it mean to use clear language when prompting ChatGPT? Here's my question. What is an example of a clear language when prompting ChatGPT? So, ChatGPT says, using clear language when prompting ChatGPT means using simple, easy to understand language that is free of jargon, slang, or technical terms. Give examples. On clear prompt, Can you provide me with information on blockchain technology and how it works? Clear prompt. Can you explain the concept of blockchain technology? See the word concept. Blockchain technology. How it functions and its potential uses in the financial industry. Can you also touch on any current examples of blockchain technology being used in the real world? So ChatGPT says, in the clear prompt, the language is simple and straightforward, making it easy for ChatGPT to understand what information is being requested. Avoiding complex jargon and technical terms. The prompt ensures that ChatGPT can provide more accurate. See, the accuracy will come from the word concept, function, how it functions, potential uses, financial industry. Touch on any current examples of blockchain technology being used in real world. That is being very clear with the language. So it's important to remember when we use AI technologies that precision, clarity of thought, and the language is very important. I went to the next third suggestion. What is an example of an open-ended question? Here on the 7th step that ChatGPT had provided, there was this question: ask open-ended questions. And I wondered, what would an open-ended question be? So I asked ChatGPT again, what is an example of an open-ended question? I can ask when prompting ChatGPT. ChatGPT says, an open-ended question is one that can be answered with a simple yes or no response, and instead encourages ChatGPT to provide a detailed and informative answer. Here's an example of an open-ended question you could use when prompting ChatGPT. Closed question: is coffee good for your health? Open-ended question: what are the potential health benefits and risks? Potential health benefits and risks associated with drinking coffee, and how does this vary depending on factors such as age, gender, and overall health? Can you discuss any recent research or studies that have been conducted on the health effects of coffee? So ChatGPT further explains, saying, in the open-ended question, there are multiple questions being asked, and it allows ChatGPT to provide more detailed and comprehensive responses that cover various aspects of the topic. So, being clear and not having yes or no answer kind of prompts is very important to get quality responses from ChatGPT. And ChatGPT even says here that by asking an open-ended question, you allow ChatGPT to provide a more in-depth and informative response, which can be helpful in gaining deeper understanding. So the fourth step to having very good and generative prompts was include context. So what does it mean to include context? I further prompted ChatGPT. And listen to how I asked the question. Providing context for your prompt. This is me here asking the question to ChatGPT. Providing context for your prompt can help ChatGPT better understand the situation and provide more relevant responses. Can you provide me an example of a context I can use for a prompt? So ChatGPT says, providing context in your prompt can help ChatGPT better understand what you are looking for and provide more relevant and accurate responses. Here's an example of prompt with context. Prompt without context. What is the best way to invest in the stock market? Prompt with context. I'm a beginner investor with moderate risk. See the word beginner investor. Moderate risk tolerance. 10,000 to invest in the stock market. Can you provide me with some tips and strategies for investing my money, as well as any potential risks or pitfalls to avoid? In the second prompt, context is provided by outlining the user's situation. That's what Chat GPT suggests. And specific needs. This helps Chat GPT understand what kind of advice is being requested and allows it to generate a more tailored, relevant response. So, I further asked on the fifth suggestion to having generative prompts from Chat GPT. How do I keep my prompts focused? Here's what it said about keeping prompt focused. Fifth. Stay on topic. Keep your prompts focused. That's the fifth. Stay on topic. Keep your prompts focused on a specific topic to avoid confusion. That was step number 5. So, here's the answer I got. How do I keep my prompts focused on a specific topic to avoid confusion and generate more accurate responses? Can you provide responses? So you have to see how detailed I also stayed on prompting ChatGPT. Even though I was taking the answers that ChatGPT had given me, I was unraveling, like going back into what ChatGPT was saying. And here's what ChatGPT said. Keeping your prompts focused on a specific topic is important to avoid confusion and generate accurate responses from ChatGPT. So it suggests use specific keywords related to the topic you want to discuss, and gives an example here. For example, instead of asking, tell me about the economy, ask, can you provide an overview of the impact of inflation on the US economy? Okay, narrow down the scope. Instead of asking broad questions, focus on specific aspects of the topic. For example, instead of asking, what are the health benefits of exercise? Can you provide information on the benefits of resistance training for providing muscle mass? Avoid unrelated questions. That's how you keep focus, ChatGPT says. Stick to the topic and avoid asking unrelated questions that may confuse ChatGPT. Actually, ChatGPT can also get confused. That's what it says. For example, instead of asking, what is the weather like today when discussing a specific topic? So, on focus prompt, can you talk about the different types of sports and their history? That's so unfocused. It's going to talk about generalities and just not be focused on something specific. A focus prompt would feel like, can you provide an overview of the history of basketball, including its origins, major developments, and current popularity worldwide? Another example of an unfocused prompt would be, what are some good books to read? That's so unfocused. A focused prompt would be, can you recommend some non-fiction books on the topic of psychology and mental health that are suitable for beginners? Here, can you recommend non-fiction books on the topic of psychology and mental health that are suitable for beginners? Keeping your prompts focused on a specific topic can ensure that ChatGPT generates good responses and informative responses that are directly related to the information you're seeking. So think about it. I'm reading all of this and I'm letting Chat GPT train me how to use itself. So I went to number 6 and I asked the question. Again, if we look here, I didn't make this up. This was number 6. Chat GPT told me to consider the desired outcome. And he said, think about what you want to achieve with your prompt and tailor it accordingly. This will help Chat GPT provide more relevant and useful responses. Okay, I went to that and I reframed the question to say, this is number 6 here. What is an example of a desired outcome to achieve when writing a Chat GPT prompt? And here's the response I got. The desired outcome of a Chat GPT prompt can vary depending on the user's needs and goals. Here are some examples of desired outcomes that a user might aim for when writing a Chat GPT prompt. So, to gain information and knowledge. The user might aim to gain better understanding of a particular topic, concept, and idea. For example, they might ask, can you provide me with an overview of the history and evolution of artificial intelligence? To get advice or recommendations, the user might want ChatGPT to provide them with advice or recommendation on a specific issue or problem. For example, they might ask, what are some effective strategies for managing stress and anxiety? Okay, that is when you're seeking for advice or recommendation. Here's how you frame it. What are some effective strategies for managing stress and anxiety? Then, if the outcome of your prompt is to engage in a conversation. Engage in a conversation. So the user might actually want to engage in a conversation with ChatGPT. Like I said in my previous video, ChatGPT has the potential to be able to engage with its users. You can actually do a chat with ChatGPT. You ask it questions and then you further ask other questions. Like this was an engaging question answer session I did with ChatGPT to come up with all of this. So, for example, they might ask, what are your thoughts on the impact of social media on mental health? And then you engage in that kind of conversation, ChatGPT's thoughts. And then you can go back and forth with those thoughts and engage in that kind of conversations. So you can use ChatGPT to generate creative ideas. The user might want to generate creative ideas or solutions for a particular project or challenge. For example, they might ask, can you provide me with some innovative ideas for a new marketing campaign for a tech startup? So we see defining your desired outcome helps ChatGPT provide good information that can meet your goals. Again, on the 7th point, ChatGPT had said, be respectful. ChatGPT is designed to generate helpful responses, so it's important to treat it with respect and avoid using it to generate harmful or inappropriate content. Okay, number 7, be respectful. Be respectful. Where is it? Point number 7. So I came and I reframed the prompt. What are examples of disrespectful or inappropriate prompts I may use when prompting ChatGPT? So ChatGPT says it's important to use respectful and inappropriate prompts. When communicating with ChatGPT. Here are some examples of disrespectful or inappropriate prompts that should be avoided. Offensive language. Any prompts that include offensive, derogatory, discriminatory language should be avoided. Sexist, homophobic, all of those kind of language that we humans do not want. ChatGPT doesn't want them to. No personal attacks. This includes language that is intended to harass, intimidate, or demean others. Even though ChatGPT is a machine, I think we have to be sensitive to not use ChatGPT to be abusive to other people. ChatGPT would not want us to use prompts that have sexual content. Prompts that include sexual content or innuendo are not appropriate for ChatGPT. No explicit graphic pictures and all of those sort of things. No illegal activities on ChatGPT. Prompts are not encouraged to promote illegal activities such as drug use, no drug use, no violence, no criminal behavior. Those are all inappropriate uses of ChatGPT. ChatGPT will also not accept spamming. So, prompts that are designed to spam ChatGPT or other users with irrelevant, repetitive content should also be avoided. So, as we can see, by using this very generative and very detailed, precise, and intentional prompts, we can actually engage in using ChatGPT in very successful manners. Remember, this video is specifically destined to help us interact properly with machines. And as we move towards the intelligent future where we will be interacting and having these kinds of conversations between man and machine, it's important to understand the language that the machine understands best in order to produce appropriate outcomes. Remember, even though ChatGPT can predict the next word in a sentence, it really doesn't have a human brain. It's all a machine and algorithms and relies on deep, very precise, well thought out, and very well-crafted prompts in order to have excellent output. When you feed in garbage, you can only have garbage as output. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for next part videos in a series of videos that we will be sending out on how to use ChatGPT to effectively communicate. Thank you.